Alright, so we're headed out this morning to go pick up stuff I bought at the auction. I ended up buying 3.25 trucks, I guess I'll say. Is that a quarter of a truck?
I would say, compared to the trucks you buy. Yeah.
I've never bought a quarter of a truck before, but I guess I can't say that anymore. But anyways, let's get out here and get this stuff, get it picked up, and get it back and get out of this cold. It's 21 degrees right now. Feels like in the mid-teens or high teens. The sun's very deceiving. It's pretty cold with the wind. Alright, so I bought that dump truck. The batteries are low, so we're charging it up. So we took the rollback and we're hooking up to this little Mitsubishi here. This quarter truck. This is what my wife wanted. Cute little bugger. She wants it to run around the property. This winch is pretty slow. It's a pretty heavy winch. I mean, it's meant for pulling real weight. We'll get it on there.
These little wimpy tires won't really do anything in this field because there's big frozen ruts and snow, and it needs some nice aggressive tires on it. I think the tires were actually frozen to the ground when we first tried to move it. It's pretty cold here. I think he's just as excited about this little truck as I am. Don't let him fool you. Yeah, he's telling me to straighten out the wheel. I can't tell if it's straight. Alright, I have to stop this. Okay, I had to put it down, the phone down. I couldn't steer and hold it and all that. So cute. Love it. So we bought this basically for parts and the bed because it has like really low miles and hours on it, but the batteries were pretty low, but it is awful cold today, so he's just throwing a couple new batteries in it.
Let's see if that'll take care of it. And today a brand new bed is at least here over 10,000 bucks, you know. And this bed needs some work, but it's not that bad. It's got a good DT 466 6-speed air brake truck, so it'd be good for parts. A couple good fuel tanks. Look at this. They just replaced that one not long ago. Let's see what we got here. I brought the good stuff too, just in case.
That's good.
Push it in. Is it bouncing?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see the camera.
Okay, it's recording right now.
Yeah, here's the problem. Look at that. It doesn't want to push the fuel off once you pull it. Pull that cable. Now push it back. Yeah, it's not not got enough push. Like the cable's bound up. Wrong angle, it's not enough to push it. All right, crank it. Yeah, there you go. That's what a DT466 ought to sound like. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off. I'm gonna check all the fluids again. Well, sometimes you just gotta be able to see through the crud, I guess, because this thing runs and drives extremely well. Just like you'd expect for something 83,000 miles or something like that. Just rusty and greasy. I've driven worse. Well, I gotta tell you, it runs extremely well. Brakes are good, steering's good, transmission shifts good, clutch feels good, the dump bed works. Guess you really can't see that, can you? Yeah. Shut her down. We'll have to fix that. This is definitely not a diamond in the rough by any stretch, but ooh, look at that. Yikes. Those are 10R20s on the front. Some farmer will want them, not us. The hood, not so good. Look at that massive pump, man. Holy crap. That is a monster. The second one of them I got. 10R. That's a 10R20 also. Yeah. Look at the date on it. If it's not too old, maybe we'll get rid of them. But shoot, man, I ain't upset. I am not upset at all. Look at the bottom of that bed. This truck was dismissed, I'm sure, by many because of that cab and because of this. And this is actually a really easy fix. Like I was saying earlier, we'll have a piece bent. Have like a 1 inch or whatever lip here, bend it here, come over, down, and in, and then just cut it around the uprights here. And man, this have it sandblasted and painted, and this will be a nice bed. Nice bed. You know, I really don't usually tell people what I pay for stuff because I think it's bad business, and the fact that you know, in the world of social media, doesn't matter what you pay for something, someone always has, you know, something to say. They could have got it cheaper, could have got it, it was too much, you paid too much, it was whatever. And good for them. I'm happy. I think this was a great purchase. The inside of the bed looks good. Can't see it now, but needs a couple of patches, one here, one over there, and then on the front up here we'll do something. We'll probably just go straight across the whole thing. You know, there's a little bit here. I mean, it looks like there's a lot of patching to do, but man, it's not really that, it's not bad. And you figure what this bed costs today. This is a 10-footer with high sides. The higher sides on it, not full 4 foot, but taller sides. You know, it's an expensive bed. Thing is, I got to do all that patchwork before I send it in for sandblast and paint, because otherwise I'll have a bunch more holes that'll show up. So I want to make sure I'm very careful. The floor looks good. You know, the cross members are good. The cylinder, a little bit damp, not horrible. I'm okay. Pleased as punch with this one. So now we'll just go back and get the next one. It's just a shame the cab's so bad. There's just nothing left of the passenger side. This side, yeah, look at the side, it's okay. Must have been from the guy getting in and out, doing the salt, the plowing and what have you. But, yeah, looks like we got a coolant leak. Something's going on here. A little bit of coolant, maybe the radiator's leaking or something. It was low on coolant, we had to add some. So, yeah, there's some antifreeze right there. Not a big deal, she's a parts truck. We'll get a look at it and see, make our decision from there. Most of this is just scrap metal. Look how big that plate is. You know, I'll unbolt that, cut that off. Look how far it comes back. Might not seem attractive to some people, but to me, that's plate steel. You know, there's a lot that can be used here. I don't know about that cylinder. We'll get with CE, see what he thinks. If it's junk or if it's something we should hang on to. I don't know. I'm pretty happy. Okay, next we got to go back and get the last one, which I think we're gonna run out of time today. So we'll probably go back tomorrow and get it. But yeah, look at that, man. That is not bad at all. A little bit of patch here and there. Not too bad. Okay. Not bad for an old turd, is it? It ran so good. So good. Anyways, alright. Let's go get the next one tomorrow morning. You can see here why I think it's a parts truck. This is a double frame on top. You can see where it's been welded together. Like they've, like it's had rust jacking. It split. You took it apart and welded it. Look, there's enough to break the bolts holding the sub-assembly down. It was bouncing. I could see it in the mirrors. I just couldn't tell if it was the rusty cab moving or if it was the sub-assembly. But bolt broke there too. I think the ones in the rear are probably still holding it. Yep, that's still there. That one's still there. Doesn't matter. This side's okay. Like I said, I bought it for parts, so that was my anticipation was it's a good parts truck. That's about what she is. The cab is just junk. Lots of good driveline parts. And the coolant leak looks like it's coming right from the bottom hose. So, you know, I'll probably investigate that a little farther, maybe fix it, just so we can run it a little longer. I drove it home. It didn't get warm or anything, but you know, we were losing coolant. I kept an eye on it. We stopped and checked it and all that kind of stuff. What a difference a day makes. It's the next day, it's 40 degrees out, mist and rain, been raining all night, and we've got another truck and a flatbed to load, and I expect this to be a soup sandwich out here. This ought to be a whole lot of fun. We'll see how bad it looks when we get there. Check the front one again.
Strapping down my little truck.
Okay. We're a little off center, but I was trying to avoid this.
Oh yeah, I wondered why you did that. Makes sense, because those are pretty small tires. Okay. Well, we just got the flatbed loaded up. He's strapping it down now. It's getting cold. The wind's picking up. It's raining today in like 40, but it's supposed to get, the wind chill's supposed to get to -2 tonight, so it's kind of crazy. I think it's already cooling down now.
To say we didn't have the most experienced loader was an understatement of the century, right?
Yeah, it took a while. Yeah, it's very muddy here, just crazy. Needless to say, my van is parked on the road. Thankfully, this is our last piece, so we don't have to come back. I could have got it if you would have given me a minute.
Yeah, right there. No, down, back up.
Okay. The wind's about to blow his hood off. Yeah, you sure don't want to to get your straps down in that. Yuck.
How long this bed is.
Yeah, it's pretty long. Okay, you're gonna give me the key to my van?
Yeah. Alright, we are loaded and headed home. I bought this rollback bed for a couple of reasons, or this truck with a rollback on it. The paperwork shows they put a transmission in it not long ago, and I know the people that owned it, or I know who they are. I don't know them personally, but I know who they are. And you know, they run trucks, and you know, I don't take anything that was written down about this with a grain of salt. I believe it's accurate. But we're all loaded now. My wife's behind me. We can head on home, get this stuff unloaded, get a better look at it. But I think it runs, drives good. ABS lights on. Got to pull it to the left a little bit. Not really a big deal. It's probably a worn tie rod or kingpin or something. Not really a big deal. You know, good oil pressure for sure, but lights all seem to work okay. It's got good heat. So anyways, let's get home and get a better look at it. That little bitty load on there, that little truck and that flatbed, it's nothing for this engine, but for this light of a rated truck, I mean, I understand it's still international, you know, weight is similar to a heavier truck, but you know, the 19.5 tires are not helping us at all, that's for sure, because it rides pretty rough. Plus the fact we have so much weight behind the rear axle, and I think the front shocks might be kind of wiped out, but you know, all little things. I think I'll probably end up keeping this. I might keep this truck around because it does run really well. You can hear the exhaust. There's a hole in the downpipe, like a lot of them have. Not really a big deal, but I'll probably keep this around and maybe put a more appropriately sized rollback on it. All right, we made it home. It ran and drove really well. Just pulled to this side a little bit. It's got a new tire on this side, older tire on the other. Light duty, real light. See the 8-lug pattern? That's what's one of the indications of a light duty chassis, and how the frame gets smaller once it goes past the rear axle. The height drops down. So that's another one. I don't remember what the PVW was because we couldn't read it in the thing here. It's faded off, but it was a box truck at one time. But runs and drives good. Fuel tank's not leaking. It's still old, not leaking. Battery box they've done some welding to, you can see. Doesn't matter, I got plenty of those. I didn't really show the condition of this bed much. It was pretty cold that day, but it's actually in really good shape. You know, all the I-beams down through here are in good shape, not rusted or anything. It's a really good, solid bed. The locks up here need adjusted because it's bouncing pretty good going down the road. Frame's a little crusty, you know, they gave it the old, looks like the brush paint aerosol overhaul, or maybe it was a spray, but regardless, you know, that's how it got fixed. Spring ride suspension. Yeah, you can see how tall the frame is there. You see how short it gets down here. But yeah, this is by far way too light of a truck. I venture to say this is like 20 to 24,000 GVW based on the 8 lugs. I'll run the VIN number with the guys down at AMI, and they'll be able to tell me what it is. Regardless, this bed is better suited on a bigger truck with a heavier capacity, because if it's 20,000 or 22, 24, somewhere in there, that thing probably weighs 15,000 as it is. So, you know, there's no capacity left on it. But needless to say, it's in good shape. Real good shape. I'm very pleased. Hey, look, here's a steel deck on that part. It's wood over steel apparently right here. Yeah, it's got steel plate under it right there. Oh, all the way. Looks like, oh, right there it stops and goes to wood. So the steel plating goes from here somewhere in this area back, or maybe just where the, No, it's all the way across. Regardless, you know, it could use a deck. It's got a few holes in a few places, but nothing's going to stop us from using it. She loves her little mini truck. It's got little, what did I say these were? 20 by 6 tires. 20 by 6. I wonder if we can get a different rim, a wider rim, and put like a more aggressive tire on there. The fronts are 5s, I think. Yeah, 5 by 10. This thing came from Arizona, from the city of Phoenix. That's who had it originally. But it's a pretty neat little thing. I have a little 3-cylinder Yanmar diesel engine. I'd love to put it in this thing. That'd be so cool. If I lifted it and checked the oil, it's about as far as I went. It's got a little Mitsubishi gas, is what I'm saying, with a 4-speed, I think, transmission. I thought it was a 3-speed, but after looking, I think it is a 4-speed. But all the sides fold down on it. She's pretty excited about that. And this bed, I bought this because it's a 10-foot bed that's made pretty well. And it's got a little bit of, you know, just sitting around rust on it. But it came out of Florida. And the main runners are in absolutely beautiful shape. You know, the bed itself is in good shape. It's a diamond plate top. It's got a gooseneck hole already in it. The corners are cut off. Somebody used a trailer jack stabilizer bracket for the bottom of a coupler. That's what that is. Use that for a light. It must have been on a medium duty truck. Something with smaller tires, like 16s or 19s. Because otherwise you wouldn't have been able to put this sliding track and this sliding track as close together as they are. But look at the winches on these are almost new. I mean, they're in really nice shape, so we'll take them off and use them on something else. But we're going to take this over to another property and leave it, and we'll unload this for her here. So I have to get this off first, get her little buggy off, and then put this back on, take it back over to another property along with the dump truck. Alright, we made it home. It drove pretty good. It's got really good tires on it. The steering was good. Clutch is high, needs adjusted. It doesn't slip or anything. We'll see if there's any adjustment left on it. It was a little low on coolant, so I added coolant. So we're looking to see where the leak is. Looks like there's a small drip underneath it now. We'll look at that, but I think it's got a running issue at 1900 RPMs. It'll kind of have an injector cut out or something similar. I'm gonna have to look into that, but I was pretty pleased with overall how it did. The bed itself, the bed's in really nice shape. It was built very, very well, and it's extremely clean underneath here, which is always good. Justin wants the bed, so we'll be taking this off, and he's gonna put it on another truck that I have and make it basically like my Freightliner, kind of the same deal. But the bed's 20-foot flat, comes to here, and this is a 5-foot dovetail, so it makes it plenty long. The problem is the on this truck, because of the sleeper, it makes the cab to axle just too short. There's just too much back there for my liking. So if I was to keep this truck like it is, I would take this axle and move it back to this location, because currently it's at 12 foot. The bed's 25, so I would want this at 14 or 15 foot center axle. That's what I would prefer. But all in all, not too bad at all. Decent purchase. Gonna need a little attention, but you know, still a decent truck for sure. So we'll probably do some work to it. Got a replacement tank there. All the tires are good. I mean, they're double coins, but you know, real good tread, and good tread on the rear. This would make what's called a tow and haul for campers. This would make an excellent tow and haul. I don't know, we'll see what we end up doing. I'm considering moving that axle forward and taking that the 10-foot bed that I got and putting it behind it with a gooseneck and put a plate on the back for pintle hook and stuff like that. Use this kind of a hot shot truck or sell it as a hot shot truck. I don't think we're keeping it. I think we're selling it. I think it's definitely gonna leave, but it's for sure a good base to start with. So we'll see what we can do with it. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that.